this whole like Elon Musk putting all the satellites in space. Like he put his first round up, and it's I don't know how many there were.
The 5G satellites, or
I don't know if they're 5G satellites or if they're like internet, or
if they're internet, they're 5G. That's what.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to be putting thousands of that, but besides the 5G talk, which can be its own talk, which I think we've had, but just the whole entire notion that you're going to change our night sky.
Right.
Thousands and thousands of these things up there. That, like, who gave you the right? Like, the FCC gave them the right. Who's the FCC? Like,
right.
I mean, you know, and then like they're not elected. They're just like some. And of one country, the U.S., the FCC of the U.S. gave you permission to change the entire night sky of the planet.
Yeah, but it's not just him. There are all these companies worldwide and countries that are putting up hundreds and like thousands of satellites in the sky starting this year. So it's not just him. They're all doing it. They're all sending satellites, like tons of them. And it's part of it's the 5G thing. And I totally agree with you. Who are they to put up this? And I was just reading an article that more animals are becoming nocturnal. That I was like, so that weren't nocturnal, I suppose. And they said it was to avoid, the article said it was to avoid people. And I saw some of the comments where I don't think it's to avoid people. I think it's because there's so much light pollution at nighttime that animals are getting confused.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or it could be because it never gets dark.
Right, because it never gets dark. There's like, I haven't seen a night sky, like a pitch black sky, in I don't even know how long.
Well, there's not very, like if you look at maps of where they exist,
yes, the light, right?
Not very much. I mean, the reason that they put the I think it's Mauna Kea in the Big Island in Hawaii is it's because it's the Pacific Ocean, which you don't have any light pollution there. And then it's like, you know, pretty dense, like the population of the Hawaiian, the Big Island in Hawaii is not very high, and it's 14,000. It's like a perfect place for an observatory. But and the next biggest one is in Alpine. Well, it's actually, there's a big one in Chile, which I did go down there for the solar eclipse area, but the Atacama Desert has like a lot of the darkest area. And then but in America, it's in West Texas. It's like right by Marfa, Texas. It's on the border of Texas and New Mexico. They have this whole area that's you know, they have it's called the McDonald Observatory. And even out there, it's not, I mean, there's still, I've gone out there a couple of times, and I have gone to the observatory, and it's still pretty, there's a couple of towns around, you can still see stuff. Yeah, we don't have pitch black anymore. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, when I'm in the air flying, like whenever I have to go like relieve a pilot or something, and I'll go into the flight deck, and so you can see like a really big horizon, and I'll be like, you know, midnight or something, and I'll be like, you can see, it's amazing what you can see, because like I could see Texas and San Antonio and Austin and Dallas all in one like range. Like you could see a lot further than you think you can, and there is nothing dark. Like I don't see dark. And Texas is bigger than France. Okay, Texas is a huge state, but anywhere in the U.S., when I look out, like there's nowhere you can see that there isn't a light that you can see from a small town or something. Nowhere. It's just we have expanded our territory to a level that is like not cool.
Yeah, that's true. The whole light thing, it's too bad. Yeah, it's changed a lot. It's wow. Well, people say, the article was also saying like, the comments were like, oh, you should shut off your lights at nighttime. I noticed in the town where I live now, I've only been living here for less than 2 years. No, I don't know, around 2 years, whatever, not longer than that. And since then, the lights that have been put in from the neighbors that are on all night, it's just been, it's so crazy. Like last night I was like, oh my gosh, these light, like my room is not dark anymore. And it's because of these constant lights that like they're just put in and are constantly on now. I'm like, I don't understand why they're on all night. It's just so annoying.
They have those lights that are like in Hawaii, they have I don't really know what they are. They're like some sort of, they're orange so it's a very soft light, and then they have some covers on the top so that it just points down on the street, and it's a subtle lighting. It's not like a fluorescent like a spotlight. It's just
Yes.
and they do that because of the observatory, so that you
Oh.
you don't have a lot of light spilling up.
Right.
So I think eventually we might have to go to that.
Yeah, we should all have that, because it's too much. And the other thing, speaking of light, which is, I don't know, I'm not happy with the new non-incandescent light bulbs. And this is one of my, I mean, speaking of complaining about things, but like, it's really bothering me that we can't find incandescent light bulbs.
Oh, are you saying it's like LED or nothing?
It's LED or nothing. You just can't find an incandescent light. Everyone's like, why do you want one? I'm like, because I just like the light better. I don't know. I've tested several of the LED lights, the ones that say soft light, the ones that say natural light or whatever, outdoor light. And they're just not the same to me. My eyes don't like it. I don't know if it's like the amount of light, because I like 100 watts at least. And so I just like light. I don't know, like a soft, like the light that doesn't bother my eyes. I don't know how to describe it. And I can't find them anymore. I looked everywhere. I was thinking maybe I should start looking online. And incandescent light used to, you know how they like break. There's the filament in it that breaks. And that's why it doesn't work anymore. But when they were originally invented, that filament could have been longer. That could have been stronger. It didn't have to be so weak.
I watched some documentary on planned obsolescence or something, and it was about how like there's still light bulbs that are on and working from like Thomas Edison.
Way
back when. It's like they came together and decided, hey, like they get one light bulb, and that's going to be their light bulb from life. We need to make these to where they break, to where they need to be replaced.
Yeah. I mean, it was completely a business decision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where I kind of wish I knew how to make stuff like that. I'm like, maybe I could make myself a good light bulb. I was like,
how do I make those filament light stay?
Yeah,
people say, well, the LEDs take less energy, but I don't even know if I buy that. Like, do they really? My little light bulb that gave me nice, happy light, like wasn't that, how much energy did it use? I think the things that are the energy users are like the appliances and the electronics that we have.
No, it's like your air conditioning and your refrigerator or
and your smart TV.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I was thinking about it. Like, I don't know how, I think what I'd be affected on the most without electricity would be internet, obviously. But, yeah, well, I guess all of it, but I talked to a lady the other day who her husband, they're out in Texas because our electricity is cheapest in the US, and they are doing a Bitcoin mining factory or something.
Oh, so they need a lot of energy.
Yeah, they need a lot of energy and a lot of electricity to, cool the whatever servers or chips or whatever. I thought that was kind of.
Yeah, those are energy suckers, those mining things. That's a whole nother weird thing. I'm like, what are we doing?
And here's the thing. I got the whole I bought $200 worth of Bitcoin like a couple of years ago. I'm like, whatever. Until we start using it I was on this whole, like, read up on the whole digital currency, like, listen to.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was into that. And then I was kind of going like, that's going to be the new currency, the new way of world, whatever. Maybe it is still like, but as far as I'm concerned, it's like, until you start treating it like a currency and I can buy like something all with it, it's just, you're trading a stock. It's treated like a stock, basically.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's true.
That's not going to change the world.
Some people do use it, but they also, they use it, and they also flip it back into their regular currency so that they're able to use it wherever. But in Europe, more and more, I think there are places that accept
Bitcoin.
Well, not just Bitcoin, but like iCurrencies or whatever. Yeah, cryptocurrencies at their establishments. So I don't even know how, because people carry their wallets around, from day to day, and then they use that.
I mean, all it is, money's imaginary, even the concept.
It's completely imaginary. That's why I'm like, why did we come up with like cryptocurrency to replace our regular currency? Can we think of something better? Let's think of
I know, exactly. That's my problem, is just that, like, okay, and yet one coronal mass ejection and, or like if we had what we had in the Carrington event, if we had what happened in the 1880s, where it was a 1 year, like they had a big solar storm. It affected all the telegraphs, but other than that, it didn't. We didn't have a lot of the technology right now. But this wasn't even that long ago. This was when Frankenstein was written. Like Mary Shelley and stuff like that, they all went into like it rained like super bad that year. The weather was super weird. It's because they had a giant like solar storm basically they hit there.
Right.
And if that would have happened today, first of all, it would burn all of our satellites. Because I mean, and aurora borealises were seen all over the globe because
Wow.
it was a huge solar storm. It was like basically like a coronal mass ejection of the sun, which I'm not so sure. Like if it's a big enough one, then you can have like a giant solar flare. That's like catastrophe. But this wasn't like catastrophe, but it still was a big enough deal that oops, internet can go down for like, and what do? Oh, there goes all your money, and we have no record of how much you had. Like that would just be like crazy.
Well, that's what I think part of the cryptocurrency you have to, if you lose track of your money digitally, then you've lost it. So you have to have it on like the wallet or on, I bought one of them because thinking that I was going to start going into cryptocurrency also.
Oh, yeah.
But then if you like lose that, basically you lose there's no record of it at all. But on the other hand, I'm like, so if that thing doesn't work, let's say there's a hardware glitch, and then all of a sudden, then what? Then so you have a hardware glitch on your like whatever thing. How are you going to use it?
I'm thinking crypto is like the Segway. It's like one of those things where like when the Segway came out, that like thing that you stand on and it goes like police officers in weird cities use it. That's about it. Like when that thing first came out, I remember there was this big article about how like, oh my God, this is like going to be like the next big thing and blah, blah, blah. Basically it would make us like the movie WALL-E where we all become super fat because like nobody walks, but it goes as fast as you can walk. Just walk. It's like the dumbest thing ever. But I mean, I actually kind of want to get on one. I've never gotten on one, but obviously it did not change the world, right?
No.
And I feel like that it was going to, though. When it came out, it was like the next bicycle. It was like gonna be huge. I feel like that's what crypto is. It's like,
yeah. Well, for the people that are invested in crypto and are doing well with it, I think it's pretty huge. Yeah, but yeah, I like that analogy. Well, it's the same thing with the airplane cars. I mean, yeah, the airplane cars. Like we were gonna that technology's flying cars. Like we're already there, right? So we've got that technology, and I've seen videos of flying cars and stuff. I'm like, but how are they ever going to implement?
How are you going to regulate how high a person goes? Like the air traffic control for that.
Air traffic. I was like, and if there's an accident, then people on the ground get hurt besides the people up there.
So people have some accident on top of your house. Like give a 16-year-old a flying car and see how great,
Right, and everyone's going to obey these laws. Like at least now we have like physical things that keep us into the lanes. Like up there, it's just going to be air. It's going to be like the Jetsons, but less organized.
Right.
I mean, yeah, totally. Like I think that's why that's just not going to take off. And people like cars. I was listening. Oh, I don't remember what, but it was basically.
I actually think it would probably take off. Like what would probably be more doable would be more of like the if they could figure out like a jetpack thing that actually wasn't that bulky, like that actually worked in a way that was kind of like if it was more like your body than it was like a vehicle that can actually cause a lot more damage. But if it was like little individual people with their jetpacks that weren't too invasive or whatever and going around, I feel like that would probably be better than.
Oh, talk to Savino. That's exactly what he wants. I was like, well, then you better get it. I'm like, you have to work on a better model than we've got now. By the time you get older,
they have jetpacks. Like people.
I know he wants one. He's always talking about a jetpack. He's like, I need a jetpack. I'm like, you're 8. You're not getting a jetpack. I said, wait. By the time you get older, the technology will be better and it'll be better models.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it could be like the iPhones. There were some. Or it's the beginning of the telephones,
right, exactly.
Dial-ups, and eventually they'll get iPhone level.
That'd be cool. And then you'll have your own computer on your hand, which is an iPhone or any smartphone. Yeah.
I wrote
So
the
what else?
script a long time ago about how eventually we all have like these contacts in our eyes that are the computer, and we can just be like,
You
like
know that
we're
they already have that.
really
Yeah, you should look that up. You should look
okay.
that up. They already have that. There's some strange nanotechnology. It's pretty freaky, actually. We are so close to the future, like science fiction wise.
If like if it can help a lot of things too, like I'm cool with it. Like the whole Neuralink thing though, like I'm never putting anything. I don't think I'm ever gonna put anything in my brain. Like they want.
Well, I think that one was good for if you lose, if you become paraplegic or any kind of loss of sensation from below the
Oh,
neck, and
okay,
you
yeah.
have,
Well, then I
and
would, yeah.
so then what they're doing is like using the spine and going over the part that's damaged and connecting it to the brain, and then people are having movement again, which is amazing.
No, that's pretty cool. So it's
It
like a
is
neuro or yeah, like a neuro
like
connector almost.
it's an electronic, some kind of electric, like an electric pulsation. I don't know
Huh.
exactly, but that's already in the works. There's so much pretty cool technology, actually. But yeah, but it's pretty scary too. I'm not a huge fan of bioengineering in general. I mean, I guess I don't know enough about it, but when I think about cloning, that always freaks me out, or test tube babies type of
It's weird.
thing.
It's never really bothered me that much. Like I know it's supposed to, but uh I'm like
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I think
like
it's kind of freaky, but
like
I
if
do.
if it was available for them, like Gattaca. Did you watch Gattaca? That
No.
movie where okay, well it's basically like people don't have babies naturally. They'd like go get genetically engineered babies. And I remember being in high school was going, yeah, I'd kind of do that. Like if I could design my baby to be like, yeah, okay, well you got my eyes and his this and that, I'd be
Well,
like,
there's a
okay.
Japanese company that's doing that.
Yeah, didn't they they got in trouble, like the Japanese that did the twins that are born with like immune to AIDS or something.
Oh, yeah, they're doing some stuff with, you can choose the genes. Like you're able to somehow choose genes of your children. I don't know. That's
Well,
freaky. But
I mean,
I liked the idea of using like the stem cells to recreate organs. So then hopefully we can get rid of the whole black market organ industry, because that is
yeah,
horrible.
that's crazy. And
So
and that
I like to see that kind of stuff
I would
happen.
like to see that too. And then I also think like the menstrual blood stem cells being
Oh,
like a
right.
higher count than like even the umbilical cord stem cells, which is right now what we have. That's like the highest stem cells is in umbilical cords. So like if you could use menstrual blood, that would be like which actually kind of does make sense. And they could basically regenerate us with our own stem cells. That would be awesome.